magical little girl, your sister. All she's got now is you.
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
You make me happy.
Hey there, YouTube. Bed Bath and Bongs here. Thank you so much for joining me. I just want to start off. I know a lot of people are going to be offended by the comparisons of, Simple Jack, and sort of that whole parody of mentally disabled people being played in movies over the years by likes of Forrest Gump, Tom Hanks, I Am Sam, Sean Penn, etc. And sort of seeing how I'm applying it towards the new Sia movie Music, and they make the conclusion that I'm making fun of autistic people. I'm not. That's not the intention. I'm more so kind of mocking the very misguided effort that this movie seems to have been. The fact that the actual autistic person that they had originally cast in the movie sort of bowed out and was uncomfortable with the production. It could just be that she's not used to this sort of situation, or maybe she felt uncomfortable because of the way they were portraying autistic people. I don't know. I don't think anyone has received much word on that yet, so I don't want to judge. I do think this movie is coming from a good place. I don't think Sia meant any ill will or anything. It just seems like a series of bad decisions. I do feel like in this day and age, if you're going to have a movie centered around autism and how differently people with on the autism spectrum think and feel, it seems like they could make a decent effort to find a couple autistic actresses. I don't think it necessarily has to be a requirement. I don't think necessarily Forrest Gump's portrayal was disrespectful of people. I think it's Down syndrome. I'm not really sure what condition Forrest Gump has. But, I do think this was coming from a good place on Sia's part. But there are certain things that it wasn't really a class act. It doesn't look good. Those retaliatory tweets where Sia's attacking some autistic actor for being a bad actor. So now you're a normie attacking an autistic person for being a bad actor. It's like you didn't really think about the optics on that one. I personally am going to give the movie a watch because, to be honest, doesn't look that bad. And I kind of do want to come to after all this controversy, I do kind of want to come to my own conclusion on whether this comes off as openly mocking autistic people or if it was just misguided. Because it seems to me that they actually attempted to make a decent movie here. And she did hire some special needs people as far as like the background dancers, etc., from what I understand. But I could kind of see how if you have someone who's not autistic doing, I believe they call them, I've been doing a little bit of research, they call them stims. I guess a lot of autistic people, when they get anxious or nervous, they sort of have these little quirks and tics that they do. I know lots of people who aren't on the spectrum who do stuff like I think most people would have a small quirk or two. But it's a little more obvious. One of the most popular ones is, I guess, they kind of like put their teeth over their lip, and um, there's a couple other things, but I guess it's very accentuated what she does in the trailer. I didn't think it was over the top myself, but again, as far as I know, I am not on the autistic spectrum, so maybe I'm not the person that would be offended by this, even if it was offensive. So I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and give the movie a watch, and once I do, I'll make a part 2 to this.
Is slamming her for not casting someone who actually has autism.
Yeah, in a series of replies to criticism, Sia wrote, I actually tried working with a beautiful young girl, nonverbal, on the spectrum, and she found it unpleasant and stressful, so that's why I cast Maddie. I hired plenty of special abilities kids. I'm willing to be misunderstood because I think this movie does more good than harm. I'm so sad and confused that you think I didn't research and utilize my friends on the spectrum. So many assumptions. Hope you love the film. It's beautiful. I had 2 people on the spectrum advising me at all times. Grr, F the F. Why don't you watch my film before you judge it? Fury.
And then she threw some shade at one individual who tweeted, several autistic actors, myself included, responded to these tweets. We all said we could have acted in it on short notice. These excuses are just that, excuses. The fact of the matter is zero effort was made to include anyone who is actually autistic. Sia replied, maybe you're just a bad actor.
Yeah. So here's the teaser and Sia speaking to Variety about the film in an interview that happened before all this backlash.
100 and 500.
Did you get what I needed?
I need 100, 100, and 500.
Did you get what I needed?
Wow, these are pretty. Which one is gonna make me feel like less hostile?
Blue.
Oh.
Before we get started,
You got my money?
what does this feel like?
It's a little late.
If you don't give me what I need, then I have to do something bad. I don't want to do something bad. Do you understand?
I'm gonna get your money. Knock, knock. Surprise!
Your grandmother left these papers in case of emergency.
She didn't happen to mention a will, did she?
Dear Kazoo, there's no money. There is, however, a magical little girl, your sister. All she's got now is you.
She can understand everything you are saying to her. And if you are happy, press this one.
I am sad.
Very funny, troublemaker. She sees the world in a completely different way from us.
We're about to have a pool party. I am happy. And how many days clean?
30.
We'll just see about that, won't we?
Damn it.
So you are on probation?
Yeah.
You can do this.
I'm gonna help her just like she helps me. And I'm actually learning how to love because I love her.
So she plays a special needs child who
someone on the autism spectrum who's quite low functioning, but she's non-verbal. She has a little echolalia, which means that she can repeat what you say to her, but she doesn't generate her own language.
I'm glad you explained that because it wasn't entirely clear what the prognosis was. Yeah.
Maybe it was because I was scared. Maybe it's because I was scared that if I made it clear what her diagnosis was, that then I might offend somebody. But then I learned that there is no 2 people on the spectrum that are the same, that autism comes in absolutely every shade. And that when we sent it off to the Child Mind Institute to see whether we'd done a good representation, Maddie scored 100%.
Wow.
And both of us cried on that day. It's a love letter. I don't know why, but I've always had a thing for as a special, and they're called special abilities now, not special needs. People with special abilities, and also for the caregivers of those people. I want compassion, really. I want people to show compassion every day.
Okay, so lots of comments already about this. So Paula says, I think Paula is saying at least she tried to hire an actor on the spectrum. Dustin Hoffman was just acting a Rain Man. Yeah, JJ mentions Dustin Hoffman too, that he won an Oscar for Rain Man.